देखिए, दिल्ली के 2 करोड़ लोगों का प्यार और आशीर्वाद पाकर दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल जी दिल्ली के लोगों की सेवा कर रहे हैं। उनका काम किसी प्रकार से रुकना नहीं चाहिए, बाधित नहीं होना चाहिए। इस कारण से दोनों मंत्रियों का, आदरणीय मनीष सिसोदिया जी का और सत्येंद्र जैन जी का इस्तीफा लिया गया है। उसको मुख्यमंत्री जी ने स्वीकार कर लिया है। लेकिन जहां तक इन दोनों मंत्रियों के ऊपर लगे हुए आरोप का सवाल है, ये आरोप पूरी तरीके से बेबुनियाद है, फर्जी है और कोई सत्यता इसमें नहीं है। ये बात मैं फिर से दोहराना चाहता हूं।
If Mr. Manish Sisodia had any moral compass left, being the disciple of Anna Hazare movement, he ought to have resigned on the day this scandalous allegations came to light. He ought to have told, first I will get exonerated, then I will come back. But his plea in the Supreme Court was, I am looking after 18 departments, therefore please give me bail. The keenness was there to run the department, not to explain the scandalous case of corruption. Therefore, again I would repeat, the whole conduct of Aam Aadmi Party is typified by 3C: cut, commission and corruption.
मनीष सिसोदिया की गिरफ्तारी और उसके बाद इस्तीफा नहीं साबित करते कि कांग्रेस पार्टी जो लगातार आम आदमी पार्टी पर आरोप लगा रही थी, सवाल पूछ रही थी, वो सही थे और वो सही साबित हुए। सवाल इस बात का कि एक इनके मंत्री लगभग 8 महीने से जेल में, आज एक मंत्री पकड़े गए और जेल में, 2 मंत्रियों के इस्तीफा होते हैं, लगातार मंत्रियों के इस्तीफे, 80% मंत्री जेल की हवा खा चुके हैं। सवाल ये उठता है कि जहां जहां आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार है, पंजाब में भी इनके मंत्री और विधायक रंगे हाथों रिश्वत लेते हुए पकड़े जाते हैं। तो मैं अरविंद से कहना चाहता हूं, बजाय इन मंत्रियों के आपको इस्तीफा दे देना चाहिए, क्योंकि आप वो व्यक्ति हैं जिसको आपने ईमानदारी का सर्टिफिकेट दिया, वो तमाम लोग भ्रष्ट साबित हो पाए। निष्पक्षता के साथ जांच होनी चाहिए। आखिर अरविंद को डर किस बात का है? दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी होने देनी चाहिए।
Now, the Delhi Congress demanding the resignation of Aam Aadmi Party Supremo and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. What next in this entire saga? Rupashri Nanda is joining me live. Akash continues to be with us as well. Rupashri, we heard from Saurav Bhardwaj. He said that there will be 2 more ministers who will be sworn in because they realize that the bench strength has come down significantly, and it's about 18 portfolios. It's about the administrative work which has taken a hit now.
Well, Maria, the one important point that I would like to make over here is that I was talking about the date of Manish Sisodia's letter.
Yes.
Now, we are learning from our sources, and this is the inside story, that is Manish Sisodia actually wrote that letter today. And Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal waited for the Supreme Court to take a call on the petition of the Aam Aadmi Party. Remember, that case was fought by Abhishek Manu Singhvi. So there was a hope within the Aam Aadmi Party that perhaps they will not be denied what would be justice in their eyes from the Supreme Court. So once the Supreme Court told the Aam Aadmi Party and Manish Sisodia to go to the High Court for remedy, that is when the Chief Minister actually made up his mind. And this is because the experience of the Aam Aadmi Party or the government with the judicial system has been that 2 other people, the Manish Sisodia is the 3rd person who is close to Kejriwal and is in jail. The other 2 people is Satyendar Jain has been in jail for close to 10 months now, and the other person, Vijay Nair, has also been in jail now for close to 4 months. So these are very, very long periods for anybody to be in jail and to be, constantly being denied bail. And then if you look at the cabinet, actually, like you were saying that Saurav Bhardwaj held that press conference, and we were also mentioning before that, in any case, Delhi actually doesn't have too many ministers. It is 10% of the number of the legislators in the assembly. So 10% of 70, and Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal does not hold any portfolio. So what has happened now is a redistribution of the portfolios within the existing ministers, that is Kailash Gehlot and Rajkumar Anand. Remember, he is the minister who took over after Rajendra Pal Gautam resigned. So when are those new ministers going to be inducted? It is anybody's guess. In fact, Saurav Bhardwaj's name and Atish's names have also been doing the rounds, but it remains to be seen whether and when other ministers are going to be other people, MLAs are going to be inducted. conducted.
Okay.
Now, what next for the Aam Aadmi Party essentially is that Kejriwal is going to focus not just in Delhi but more importantly on expansion plans, because he realizes that constantly, being all the spokespersons in the party, the entire resources of the government, everything goes towards defending Satyendar Jain, Manish Sisodia, Vijay Nair, and they have done it for a pretty long time, though not for as long as, not for such a long time for
Okay.
Manish Sisodia.
Okay.
And it would have been a drain on whatever capital that they have been able to gather or build so far.
Okay.
And the upcoming budget session also, or presentation of the budget,
Becomes
that also
very,
gave
very
a sense
important.
of urgency. Gave a sense of urgency, and therefore Kejriwal actually chose to bite the bullet. And it must have been a very painful decision for him, considering the fact that when it came to Satyendar Jain, he waited for so long.
Yes.
And when it came to Manish Sisodia, it is
It was
hardly, just
absolutely
2 days.
in the matter of 48 hours, resignation coming in of Manish Sisodia. Aruna, would you say that the Supreme Court decision and the order that you have to follow the entire legal process, go and avail the legal route that is available before you, that was the final nail in the coffin? Because the Aam Aadmi Party realized that with no legal reprieve coming for Manish Sisodia and Satyendar Jain being in jail for 9 months, the FIR has not been quashed, no relief whatsoever, it means that prima facie there is enough evidence that this could be a long legal battle for the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yes, the Supreme Court decision to not provide any relief would have been a factor. I can tell you after speaking to senior officials that they were also, if I can say so, nervously watching the Supreme Court of India's proceedings. They were quite taken aback initially when the Supreme Court decided to give this plea a hearing, because CBI officials were quite confident that they had solid evidence based on which they had carried out Manish Sisodia's arrest. This was repeatedly asked from them, that you named him as accused number 1, yet you did not arrest him when you called him for questioning. You did not name him in the charge sheet. So what exactly do you have against him? And Aam Aadmi Party politically has attacked CBI repeatedly, including Mr. Sisodia, that you've searched my lockers, you've searched my office, you've searched my residence. Where is that, bribe amount that you keep talking about? What is it that you have against me? So today when the CBI, the battery of lawyers from CBI side also ended up at the Rouse Avenue Court, yesterday and today also at the Supreme Court. So when the Supreme Court upheld the right to arrest and the reasons for arrest, they were breathing a sigh of relief, and perhaps that played a role in Chief Minister of Delhi accepting Manish Sisodia's resignation as well. Politically speaking, though, the trouble is far from over. Kailash Gehlot has been given the charge, as Rupushi is reporting. There is the sword of the DTC bus scam hanging over him. There is also a possibility of a second FIR against Manish Sisodia. The sanction to investigate has already come in the alleged political snooping matter in Delhi. There too, CBI is just waiting for the formalities to be completed, and they feel they have evidence to prove a PCI case. So things were really gearing up against Mr. Sisodia. Perhaps the reason why this call was taken.
Okay, last question to you, to the reporter who's joining me, Akash. Akash, we have seen protests by the Aam Aadmi Party. Is that not a strategy anymore? Because they realize that as far as the People's Court is concerned, perhaps there is much more that the party has to explain. And hence, will they be having a parallel strategy while they continue with the fight in the courts legally? What about this perception battle, which has certainly taken a hit?
Right. In fact, just yesterday when party decided to carry out this nationwide protest, the message that they were trying to give is that central government is at this point in time is, trying to just shut off the voice of opposition. And in fact, this is the reason why we saw that, protests were carried out in Mumbai, in Nagpur, in Chhattisgarh, and in number of states. Now, coming back to this point where Aam Aadmi Party, in fact, Arvind Kejriwal has accepted the resignation of these ministers. So, there were talks going around that, now Aam Aadmi Party has to work on plan B because, otherwise also they are in fact eyeing on 2024. But having said that, Maria, it is important to mention that opposition is on the very same line. They are saying that since you have accepted the resignations of your ministers, now you should also resign resign on moral grounds. Okay. So, these attacks are not going to stop. And in fact, just a few minutes back, when we were playing the sound bite of Chaudhry Anil Kumar, he's saying that this is the, victory of people of Delhi, where, there were allegations on ministers. These ministers were arrested, and now subsequently they have resigned, and, you have accepted the particular resignation. Now they are asking for the resignation of Arvind Kejriwal. But, as Rupashri was pointing out, Aam Aadmi Party is also eyeing on national politics. And this is the reason why we are saying that now, they are back on their strategy where they used to say that, in fact, if we have any sort of charge on our minister, any sort of allegation on our minister,
Akash,
then
really appreciate your time. I have run short of time now. Rupashri, Akash and Arunima, thank you so much for joining us. So the top story at this hour is 2 resignations. Manish Sisodia and Satyendar Jain, both of them resigning after clearly their position becoming untenable in Arvind Kejriwal's cabinet here in the national capital. That's all from me.